We're back out at the big lake once again, and today we're talking about how you're fishing too fast and you're fishing too slow. Doesn't make a lot of sense? Well, we're going to talk all about it. There we go. That's another nicer one. Oh yeah, this is the biggest one of the day. Get right in there. Oh yeah, look at this one. This is easily the nicest one of the day. And here is this video's featured comment. Congratulations! If you would like to have a chance to have your comment featured in an upcoming video, all you've got to do is leave a comment. And now, on with the video. Welcome back to Lowbrow Fishing, and it's often been said that an angler's best friend is luck. When we have it, we catch a lot of fish. When we don't have it, we get skunked, right? Isn't that what we say? I didn't have any luck out there. Oh, I had a lot of luck today. I caught a lot of fish. But that's just wrong. You manufacture your own opportunities. You create your own bites. And that's kind of what I like to talk about on this channel. You have the ability, you have the power each and every time you go out to the water to create opportunities to catch fish. And it's all about maximizing those opportunities. It's not about specific baits and lures. It's about reading the conditions and reacting to the conditions. You did it again, didn't you? I'll be right back. Check that out. From the bank, right there, Waco rig, stinky scented worm. She did it again. What is that, 4 for you today? Mm-hmm. And that's not the biggest one, but it's still nice. She's going to go put that back in the water now. Awesome. But that goes exactly to the point that I was trying to make. You create your own opportunities. You create your own bites and strikes out on the water. Luck has nothing to do with it. It's about reading those conditions, and it's about making the appropriate adjustments. Now, I see a lot of anglers, they are just doing 2 things that are going to keep them from getting fish. Number 1, they're flat out just not throwing the right baits the right way. And it reminds me of a time, a couple years ago, I was on the Trophy Bass Lake, and there was an older gentleman out there fishing, and he had on this big, loud, orange crankbait, and he was just throwing it out there and burning it back, throwing it out there and burning it back. And he's grumbling and grousing about how he paid good money to come out there and fish, and he's not catching anything. And I told him, I said, well, what have you fished with? He said, well, this is what I've thrown all day. I said, well, have you tried a jig or a Texas rig or something like that? That's what I've been killing them on. We caught about 30 fish today. He says, oh, I'm not doing that. I'm not fishing like that. And then he looked at me, he kind of had a wry smile. He says, I know, I should be switching to that, but I just don't like fishing that way. And a lot of guys don't like fishing a worm, and that's fine. But there are slower ways, slower presentations, and you can still power fish. You can use something like a jerkbait, or you can even slow roll a chatterbait or a spinnerbait and still cover water. You can use something like a topwater spook, a walking bait, and still cover water. But if burning a crankbait is not going to get you bites, well, then maybe you need to change either A, the water that you're fishing, or B, the presentation that you're using, because something isn't working. And I'll let you know a little secret. It's not the fish's fault. Now, even when we do have the right presentation, a lot of times we are not fishing that presentation properly. We're fishing it too fast, or we're fishing it too slow. We need to take into account how those fish are reacting. Are they really pressured? Are they active? Are they dormant? Are they cold? Are they sluggish? You've got to take in all of those variables. Now, on a very pressured body of water, if you're wanting to fish a crankbait, well, burn it, baby. Burn it, burn it, burn it. I cannot say that enough. And I watch guys fishing a crankbait, and They're just not fishing it fast enough. Burn that thing like you're trying to tear the reel off of it. Go as fast as you can and then pause. And then go as fast as you can and then pause. Because if you're fishing a heavily pressured fishery with a crankbait, it's going to be all about that reaction strike. That's what you're looking to get. So don't be afraid to crank that thing as hard as you can. Trust me, you are not going to outrun a fish. Oh, there we go. Hello, bass. Oh, that's not a bad bass. That's not a bad fish. Come here, you.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good way to get the day started. Nobody will be looking. This is why I don't like grabbing stuff with a bunch of trebles in your mouth. Because I'd rather them stay in your mouth and not in my hand. Yeah, he's £1.25. Bluegill or bass? There you go, buddy. It was so nice. Thank you so much for visiting us. Amazing fish on the Googan jerkbait. You have a good day. Thank you so much. And there he went. All right, let's go get another one. Now, on the other hand of the spectrum, right, on the other end, we're fishing something finesse, like a small jig, like a finesse jig, or a bitsy bug, or we're fishing something like a wacky rig, or a Waco rig, or even dragging a worm. A lot of times, we are fishing it too fast. A lure like that, you can easily overpower, overwork, and have them going too fast. It's something that I see a lot of anglers struggle with. They don't have any pauses in there, or the pauses that they have are too short. And another thing they do is when they're moving that bait, they're jerking it. They're not sliding it, they're not gliding it, they're not giving it subtle pops, they're just jerking it, and chances are they are scaring whatever fish are there. You got to remember, on a heavily pressured body of water, those fish are already skittish. They've got boats around them, they've got the pings of the sonar, they got baits going all around, there's all this noise, and they're already very sly and skittish. That's why fishing a heavily pressured fishery is way different from fishing Grandpa's farm pond, right? We go out and fish Grandpa's farm pond, we catch them all day long, we catch fish on accident. But at a heavily pressured fishery that's got a whole bunch of boats on it, you really need to be on your game. It's, as I've said before, it's just like fishing on hard mode. Killing them. Oh, there we go. I got him. That's a ton. That's the biggest one today. That's the biggest one today. That's a tank. Please tell me I'm rolling. Oh yeah, look at all these nice beautiful fish. That's another one. That is another one. 2+ pound bass on that little bitsy bug jig. So next time you're out on the water, gauge what you see. If you want to power fish, then power fish. Go fast. Even with a jerkbait, I'm working it really, really quickly. Like I've said before, I work it very much like I do a top water walking bait. You know, jerk crank, jerk crank, jerk crank, jerk crank. In that order, I'm working it very fast. If I'm working something like a crankbait, a square bill, or a lipless crank, I'm burning that thing. I'm going just as fast as I can. You know, I worry about the type of bait probably least of all, as opposed to what I want to accomplish with that bait. That's what you need to think about, rather than, oh, well, I have this bait here and I'm going to throw that and I hope the fish bite it. Think about, well, this is what I want to accomplish. I want to be deeper in the water column. I want to stand out pretty good. And I also want that bait to be silent because there's a lot of pressure, but I still want to get noticed and have a lot of wiggle. So you say, okay, I'm going to fish this KVD 2.5 square bill as an example. Or maybe you're saying, well, I want to get down just a little bit deeper. I want to have some tight wobble. I hear that a lipless is doing good, so maybe a chartreuse or a louder colored lipless in murkier water, something to that nature. Maybe you can find a silent one. So what I'm saying is, rather than picking your bait on hoping it catches a fish, think about what you want that bait to do. Think about the presentation you want to make and pick your bait based on that. And I'll be honest, color's kind of important, but it's not nearly as important as we make it out to be. What you want that presentation to do on the water, how you want it to react underwater, that should be first and foremost in your mind. And you have that information based on what you're seeing from those fish. So there you have it. Stop relying on luck and stop guessing when you're out there. Look at the conditions and let the bass tell you what they want to eat. And then think about what you want your baits to do and choose your presentations based on that. I'm telling you, your catch rate will go through the roof if you're a little bit more methodical and you think things through in that manner. Thanks for watching Lowbrow Fishing. We'll catch you in the next one.